Welcome to CoinBook. My name is Calvin Waite, and I trade Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for a living. My goal is to help you guys to become better traders and to help you see opportunities within the crypto markets. So please subscribe. I would love for you to be a part of the community that we are building. Bitcoin update. We are still in the green zone. So we've had some really long body candles. A lot of times this can be a sign of indecision. There's a lot of movement up, a lot of movement down, but all in all, look at how long the support side of our candles are. These tails here. There's just a lot of upward momentum still. There's, as much as I'm looking for kind of a cool off and a turnaround, these types of candles do not really play along well with that story. So, we do need to have a period of rest where we can gain support, and then we'll be really set up to head for 20,000. And honestly, look how much time we have till the end of the year. We've got, here's the rest of the year, this entire white section. I mean, we could go up here for about 2 weeks, come down for a couple of weeks, and then really, really launch. So, I mean, even if it took us a month to kind of hit the ground and retest some of this, oh man, we could go up pretty hard in 1 month's period of time. So, Bitcoin's looking good, looking very strong. We're green zone, everything's lined up. We're way above our averages. Things are good. I have kids, so this analogy means a little more to me, but so this is all of us that get into these alt trades, and we're like, how did I get into this situation? Like, why did I make these trades? But you just have to wait because it all makes sense. You just have to be patient because things work themselves out. Today, we're going to compare Bitcoin's weekly chart, the last 4-year cycle, with this year's 4-year cycle. Before I get real far into that, I just kind of wanted to mention some of the other market forces that are at play today. So today we have Bitcoin dominance that's gone up 31.31, so it's 1/3%, which in dollar terms, that is a lot of money. But our total, including Bitcoin, has dropped by 1/4%. So, so even though we have Bitcoin on the rise today, alts are falling so hard that they have fallen further than the monetary increase of Bitcoin. And as we mentioned in the video yesterday, that's fine. We're going to let those alts do exactly what they want to do. If they want to go down, we let them go down. We're not going to stress about it. We're not going to worry about it because the best returns happen when prices are at their absolute rock bottom. So when things turn around, I'll be here to point out some really great opportunities. But in the meantime, look at this very interesting situation. So this point here, it's a little off the screen, but this was our highest point when we had a, I'm gonna change the size just a teeny bit so you can see. This high right here was our 1,000 for the first time back in 2013. And then this up here is our $20,000 high. So down on the bottom, you can kind of see the slope of our weekly chart. And then this is our 20,000 top. And this is this 4-year cycle that we're currently in. And the colored bands are the story. So interestingly, there's a little difference between the bands. Right here, in the last 4-year cycle, everything was so clean. We hit this yellow zone. It was just one solid yellow zone. We popped out into a white zone, And the white zone is this transition phase where all of the averages are getting into alignment and we're getting everything stacked up on top of each other. And once we have our 20-week, our 100-week, our 50-week all in the right order, but also sloping upwards, that's when our green zone begins. So we have this solid green zone. Our entire bull run was pure green zone. And in fact, it went so high that when we started our new cycle, it actually took us about a little over a quarter to get out of the green zone. And we only did because we finally flipped our close below the 50-week moving average was what turned it. And then finally we got our negative slope here on the 50, our negative slope here on the 100. But to get back into this mid-range with that 2-year mark, the halving that happened and all this stuff that goes on in the middle of these 4-year cycles, we were so kind of mixed up with all of these wild runs and wild drops that it took us a while to get all of our averages in alignment. And so this is way messier. There was the yellow zone and it flipped to white, but it didn't go to green because we did not have price action pulling us up and keeping these averages straight. But what is interesting is if you kind of chalk this all up as to just Wild West, really wild, turbulent market times, which, it was just so crazy during all of the coronavirus and the big sell-off and everything. But when did we get on track? And that's the point of this video. If you look right here, it took us all the way till May of 2016 to finally get the 21-week, the 50, the 100, and the 200 all in the right order with price on top. And then it took another couple of weeks before the slope of the 150 both caught up and started sloping upwards. Well, the funny thing is we're not too far off. It took, look at this. We're ignoring the 21-week. This green zone represents the 50 on top, the 100, the 200, and the 150 are both sloping upward. So that's where this green zone comes as long as price is above all of that. But we had the 50 above the 100 and the 200 all the way back here, December of last year. So back here is where our trends were in the right order. It was just price that needed to stay above the 50 to keep everything in perfect order. And even though we had a little, so even back here, we did not have the 50 above the 100 for a long time. And it wasn't all the way until this green zone period began that we finally had things in the right order. So we have things in the right order and we have it much earlier. It's just that the price didn't quite get in the right place. But you can see that the 21 is doing a much different behavior, where the 21 was so low and then it finally popped up and then it carried the 50 above with it. Our 21 week was above, and it did pull up the 50 for a minute, but then our 21 week dropped below and things were back out of alignment. So on July 27th, that week and that close of that week, it essentially is starting us off on our block of green zone. So this block of green zone that just goes forever, for over a year, almost 2 years, green zone, that has started as of July. So we are in the bullish green zone. All we're doing at this point is looking for buy the dip. This is buy the dip territory. If you see the price wavering, that's when you get in, because we're not going to see the sell-offs that we did in the more recent past. So there's a psychological barrier when it comes to trading, and it's called recency bias. And recency bias is where you get in the mindset that things are going to happen the same way they did most recently. And so people might be looking for exits, they might be scared of drops, things like that. Well, that's recency bias. This is a new market. We're in a green zone and things are very, very strong. So look for opportunities. Last time, whenever we touched the 21-week moving average, it was always a good time to buy dips. We just did that throughout the entire bull market. And so if you're buying, look for those chances, because there will be some. It's not going to just go straight up. That doesn't happen. But things are going to get fun very soon. Like we're knee deep in this, and it's only a matter of time that we start seeing the angle of our slope increasing. Right now, we've kind of gone from flat to starting to curve upwards, and it's just going to get steeper. It's going to be a wild ride.
All right, you guys, we are almost to 1,000 subscribers, and when we get monetized, I'm going to be giving away these enviable Coinbook t-shirts, the apex of crypto fashion. So if you could comment your ideas on how I should distribute these. I'm not sure if I should give out one per day, or one to the best comment, or one per week. So give me your ideas, but I want to build this brand and expand our community.